Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here, and welcome back to another episode of my Manchester United Let's Play in FM 2014. Today is the day of the youth intake in the second season. Of course, our first one last year was pretty successful. Hopefully we can push on for that. And of course, I've changed my staff member who handles these youth intakes and brings me the players. I'll show you example in a second in staff responsibilities. I've had it previously, for the first season, it was Brian McClare, the head of youth development, but I actually signed this director of football for this purpose, for him to bring me some talent and to actually handle the youth development and brings the youth players into the club and informs you of their development. So he's got that role, and I'll show you the difference between the two in a second. So you got the head of youth development, Brian McClare. He's actually handling a lot of youth training. So he's got working with youngsters is high, but his judging player potential and ability isn't that high. I want like a 20/20 for that. So the staff member, he can see who's going to be good enough and bring them. Brian McClare, he may not be as good as someone 20/20 who I did get, but he's very good training, especially attacking training. Look at that, 15, man management good, and some other like mental attributes could increase technically as well, working with youngsters, 19 as well. So he's good in the coaching side of things. For example, if you see staff responsibilities, what is he on? You see here he is runs the general training for the youth squads, and also he sets up individual training for youth players and runs the training for under 21 squad. And for the under 18 squad, I did Paul McGuinness. I just felt he should do something, so it's spread evenly between my youth coaches, to be honest. You see here, you think he should do something. Got Warren Joyce for the under 21s manager. I might change that and let him do like McGuinness, but yeah, he's good working with youngsters. So it depends how good this guy, Warren Joyce, he's good as well. So I might have to add him into that setup as well, but I'm happy with how it is going at the minute. Of course, he still does some training, like schedules and that, like he works with certain areas. But anyway, I'm going to the director of football, Fabio Paratici. So that's probably wrong how you say his name, but anyway, his recommended job is the director of football. And leave your comments. What do you use director of football for? And you see the other ones, the other abilities I have him for is finds and make offers for young players in the future. But I always have it on me to finalize the signing because, yeah, the contract negotiations. Because if he signs someone I don't want to have, I don't want to waste that money. So, and he finds a club for youth team members you have on loan. So hopefully finds a good club for them. So yeah, that's what I use them for. And yeah, I almost think I should use him to sign new staff, but I want to make sure I get the best staff available. And sometimes, like, it's just a game. But anyway, look at his attributes. He's got 20 for both judging playability and potential. So, and determination, I'm not sure. And motivating, I think that could play a factor as well. Motivate players to come to our team instead of another team. 18, that's pretty good. Man management, I'm not sure if that influences in getting that. I would think working with youngsters is pretty low, but he's not really working with the youngsters. He's just looking for the talent, like a scout. Like scouts, it doesn't matter what they're working with youngsters in. It's sort of a scout in some ways, to be honest. The judging player ability to make sure they're decent enough to come in already, and the judging for the player potential that they're going to be a really good player in the future, and determination and motivating. Hopefully some helping factors in that. But if it's not, anyone drop in the comments. What's the best? That's just my original reaction. It's not something that I know is a true thing in the game. What's going to get you the best players? It's just what I see will be best. And that's always what I say. I don't, like Football Manager, I'm not an expert. I've just been playing it for a long time, and I know what does best for me, and I go by that. So that's all. So he found one guy, Philip Rogers, as possibly one of the best players of his generation. So that's going to be very exciting to see when he comes around. But first up, we'll check out the first guy here, Brewster Edwards, defensive mid or centre mid. He's got 3-star report. 3-star reports are decent from the initial one because they still need more. Because, yeah, a 3-star potential ability will have him to be a leading Premier League central midfielder in the future. And you're always going to sign him up. But I won't do it now. I'll do it after it because it talks too much. Next up, Christian, a Brazilian. I'll talk about this after I do the intake, show who I've got. But yeah, he is Brazilian. He's 15, only a 2-star report. But if you look at that, he still has potential to be a good Premier League left winger in the future. So he's still worth signing up. And with our good youth facilities, he could possibly grow above his potential maybe. Because we've got the good... Yeah, he might grow more at our team than he would at just another average team because of our amazing youth facilities. So hopefully he could grow to that, because I've always wanted to get a good Brazilian in my youth intake, but they've always been crap. But he's got low determination. No doubt we have to get him tutored by a good player. But he could just be someone to sell on. I don't think he'll be top 4 quality. Just my original reaction to that. And next up, Oliver Bowler. Another right back. We've got so many right backs, especially from last year's intake. He's got high determination, which is good. 2-star report, of course, will lead him to be a good Premier League right back in the future. Decent, worth signing up. Next up, Nick Beeson from Blackburn. 2.5-star potential. Anyone above 2, really, you should sign up in my view, because then there'll be at least a good player in the Premier League eventually, and you'll be able to sell them on if they're not first-team quality, and he'll be a leading Premier League central defender in the future from just that 2.5-star report, which is good. It looks like a decent defender. Felipe, another defender, and another Brazilian. I'm happy to get these Brazilian players in, and a 2-star report. So say he'll be a good Premier League central defender in the future. He's got some good attributes as well. He's determined, aggression is good for a centre-back, good tackling and heading. Key attributes. So if we work on some other areas of his game, physically and maybe marking as well, he could be a good defender, but still, he probably won't be that high quality once again, which is disappointing. But who knows? So I've seen it before. I've seen this before, definitely in Football Manager. I've had a guy come in with a 2-star report, and he has just that potential to be a good Premier League central defender in the future, and didn't think he'd be good enough. But when you're at a big team, he can develop, and he comes into maybe a decent rotation player in your team. It just really depends how he develops. So next up, Darren Rigby, who is a decent player, to be honest. Look at this, 2.5-star reports. He's a promising fullback by his media description. That's always good to have. Determined as well, 18 determination. So that's all good. Tackling is good. His technical attributes in terms of passing's only 5, but technique is 12. Creativity, 8. Not bad for a 15-year-old. Hopefully that can improve. Hopefully can improve his quickness as well. You need to be a bit quick for a fullback. But he's got really strong tackling already. Tackling of 11, marking of 10, and strength. Normally strength is really low for when you get these regens in. So he actually looks like a decent prospect and looks like an interesting type as well. But still, looking at his report, potentially become a leading Premier League left-back in the future. Excellent. But, we did just sign a new left-back that's a wonder kid, Jonathan Silva. So he's amazing. But next up, the guy who's supposed to be one of the best players of his generation from Sale, a right midfielder. Actually, I wanted to sign a world-class player in this position, but we could have been blessed with a player. And look at this 5-star report for Philip Rogers. He almost looks like he could come... Sorry, I almost lost my voice there, but still, what was I going to say? Yeah, he looks like he could almost come in right away. He's got really good attributes. He's got pace. Look how quick he is. He's going to be so fast when he grows. He's a bit small, but you're going to get that. You can't be fantastic in every facet of the game. Crossing 13, long shots 12, passing 11, technique 14. Mentally, he's sound. He's going to be an amazing player. Obviously, he's not going to be any effect in the air, but you don't need that from a right midfielder, to be honest. But we do need to work on his strength a little bit. But to be honest, you don't really... say if I work on his strength a little bit and we get it up to 8 or 9, that's really not going to make too much of a difference in his game. You just want to improve the attributes he's already good at, in my opinion. That's what I feel is the best to do in my youth intake for my players. So you check the report there, 5-star, of course. Really, really good. So... have really high hopes for him. Is he touted as anyone? Not quite yet, but still. Yeah, if you look at the Premier League right now, we're winning comfortably. Might want to give him some chances off the bench, but we've got Zaha, who's the young player coming through more so. So he's going to definitely spend some time in the youth team for now. But it's really good to get 5-star report. Let's see if we can get some others. 1-star report, no thanks. When it's 1-star, the thing is, when it's 1-star, he has still potential being Sky Bet League 1. Not really... what I want, so I'll probably let all the... You should let the 1-star or lower let go, in my opinion, unless he has some really high attributes and you can work with him around that. But again, we'll see. Jeff Appleby, not bad. He's a pacey striker. Technically needs improvement, but he's got some high mental attributes. Could be good. Has potential being a good Premier League striker in the future. Even if you don't think they'll be good enough, if it says they're going to be a good Premier League player in the future, it's good to sign them up because, like I said, at least you'll be able to sell them, or the reason I said before, with good training facilities, he could potentially overcome his predicted abilities. So, Phil Murphy, not really. Like I said, these 1-star reports are lower, not really worth looking at. We're starting to get some bad ones now, but I'm happy I'm just happy to get 1 5. If I get a 5-star report, that's insane. I'm just happy if I get a 4-star report, and I've got more than that, so that's all good for me. And yeah, I'm happy to get around 3 players that would be potential to be a leading player in the Premier League. That means 3 players that could potentially be on our first team. At least 3. I'll be happy with that each season. And we got definitely more than that last season. Josh Groves, not really good enough. Leon Hughes, half-star report. No, they're getting a bit bad now. But you can't get every player that's going to be good. It will ruin the game. You'll have like full players that are good. But over time, like if I pick up 4 or 5, or yeah, about 3 or 4, I should say, more so, yeah, 3 or 4 players each season that has potential to be a leading player in the Premier League. If you build that up over 5 seasons, that's over a starting 11. So it's pretty good if you get them in the right positions as well. You could build the starting 11 from just 5 years of a youth intake, which is not too bad. And that's especially with my other young player signings as well. I make heaps of region signings from other teams. Michael Smith, I have my nationality as Australian. That brings in Australian more often than not, but normally they're crap because that's just the way in the game. They don't have high potentials in the regions. Jimmy Hunter is not great as well. So through that, I want to show you how I've got some Brazilians in this youth intake. This is what basically does it. The knowledge of your team. See, look here. We've got a full knowledge of all these countries. If you see South America, where's South America? Not too much, but yeah, look, Central Europe is outstanding as well, but still, all these players has 100% knowledge. So there's a chance of getting a player in the region from this, from these countries in 100%. But I've noticed the Brazilian ones have been more, they've been more chance than someone else. But I think because I have more Brazilian staff than the other ones. If you look at this, how much Brazilian I have, I've got one. I've got 2 fitness coaches from Brazil. I've got youth under 21s coach Julio Cesar. You see him there. He's got knowledge of other places as well. So we've got a lot of cover. Now I wanted to I did that purposely. Another Brazilian got a physio in there, and then another one, a scout from Brazil. I wanted to do that purposely so I could actually get Brazilian players in my youth intake. And over time, you're probably going to see more of that because Brazilians have really good potential. But I've also noticed Spanish. I reckon over time, like 5 seasons in or something, I'm going to slowly, like these English ones will be going out, and I'm going to have the majority, well, that's what I plan to do anyway. I'm going to have the majority of staff from Spain or Brazil so they can come through the youth intake and going to have some decent players. That's just my method anyway. So, yeah, what's going to be next up? The second leg of Ajax, the first game, we only won 1-0 away, so that wasn't great. At least we got the away goal. Away goal is still very crucial, so that's a solid result. Then we won the League Cup, another competition won, thank you very much. Then we drew away to Chelsea. I was very happy that Chelsea didn't take the points on me, and I'm still 2 games ahead of them, and goal difference definitely. The goal difference is not really because of my goal scoring record, it's because of my defensive record more so, or it's about the same to be honest, about the same difference, but only to concede 14 goals, that's like conceding a goal every 2 games. That's insane effort by the boys. And myself as well. Javier Hernandez, an excellent striker. I've noticed whenever he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, he always finishes. That's because of his 18 finishing, and he's improving his composure as well off the ball. He's only still 26. And look at a record for Mexico as well. 47 goals out of 73 appearances. So in my opinion, he's the best striker in the game for consistent goal scoring because of his amazing finishing. Even Van Persie last year, he was solid. He only had 16 finishing, but some people say he has better technique in that, which makes an influence. But to 18 finishing, that's just going to, on those one-on-one situations, he's just going to go bang. And he does. Look at that, 15 games in 19 in the Premier League. And he's never came off the bench for me. He's always started when he's been available to play because of that finishing ability. Look at that last season. I thought last season was good. But last season, he scored a lot in the Cup and Continentals. And India for Mexico as well. 10 goals in 12 games, not too bad. So he still had an amazing season, regardless of what the league said. It was a bit better than that shows. And it looks here, look at that. 15 goals in 19 games. A big part down to him being, for us being in our position today. And he needed to step up because Van Persie left. And Van Persie hasn't done well. It was a perfect situation to sell him. Even though Arsenal, they're a bit struggling right now. But if you look here, where's Van Persie? I'll search by position to make it a bit easier. Van Persie, striker. He's kind of, if you look physical attributes, going down a little bit. He's only had an okay season. To me, I sold him at a perfect time. In real life, Manchester United bought him for 24 million. Then we saw he had an amazing season for us, help us win competitions, and then we sold him on for 1.5 million more than United bought them in real life, and he struggled. He's only got 8 goals in 20, and Hernandez has stepped up definitely good in that position. Actually, the position I was playing Van Persie, well, sometimes. Now, who am I playing there? Yeah, Al-Sharari, who was the big money signing. Originally, I bought him to play left midfield, but Vitinho is stepping up, so he's kind of taking that role. Or I could play Nani there as well. He's stepping up. He can play in that striker position. He can play as a striker, finishing 16. I didn't really look at that for some reason, but then I realized 16 finishing, that is really, really good. Technique is also good, so he could be an amazing player. Especially, it was a big money signing, 42 million, but no doubt he's repaying us with some really good performances in our team. So he's going to be an amazing striker. If you see here, striker, advanced forward, I'm not sure all of his best positions, but I find him being good in that complete forward support role because he's got very good creative ability, but still he could be a good advanced forward. So he places shots and attempts overhead kicks. I actually wanted him to learn that. Or actually, one of my coaches recommended that he learn that, and he did. So, play shots, attempts overhead kicks. I know Al-Sharari, beast signing for me. So, again, like I said, I'll just give a quick review of my best team currently. Because every season, like I said previous episodes, I like to make a big money signing like I have. Paul Pogba first season, look at him now. Insane. Same with Al-Sharari that I just showed you. So, we've got, if you look at our positions, we've got this, maybe striker could be a position, and I'm kind of thinking to sell Rooney. He's had a lot of injuries and he's going down in his attributes. So drop in your comments if you think I should sell Rooney for, look, he's worth 25 million. I could sell him for 20 million and that could go towards getting another striker in the team because he's getting injured too much and that's making him decrease in his attributes, and he's 29. He's only going to decrease in his value now. So do you think it's a perfect time to let him go? Of course, he's a Manchester United legend almost, you can say, or just a really memorable player or something like that, but he's only going down in his attributes, and regardless of the player, even though if he's been amazing for me or anything, I want to sell him on. Like last season he was fantastic, but look at the injuries. Look at all these, where are we, 2014, since then, look at all the injuries, 6-week injury, 5-week injury, 2-month injury, they're long-term injuries, especially 2 months, and it's showing. If you look at the injuries, it's not a good positive sign because they're only going to keep happening as he gets older. And I'm not sure if he's injury prone in the game or not. It doesn't say he is, but and he's not happy as well because he's been injured, and I've probably been training him too much. Even though he's looking forward, he's unhappy with the training schedule, but. It might be time for him to leave the club because he is going down in his attributes and really drastically. Look at those red ones going straight down. So that's a pressing concern for me. So it will be either signing a striker or a right winger. So you've got Valencia and Nani there right now. But again, go to Valencia, 29. Look at his attributes. He's decent, and he's sort of playing a rotation right back for me when Peruzzi needs a rest and that. So he's valuable for the team, no doubt. And if I go back to Nani's in the same boat. Where are we? We've got Zaha coming through. He's looking very impressive. He's pacey. He's got a bit of strength about him, actually, as well, and good dribbling. Decent player. And, Nani. What's Nani at now? Is he 28? So, Nani's still, he's not declining at all. He's still a key player for us. He does his job every season. So, I've had a couple guys on my radar. If you look on my shortlist, this shortlist, I've just added heaps of players. But if I search specifically for a right winger, I just retrain him to the right midfield. There's 2 guys that's really on my radar right now with a 5-star report. It's Lucas Ocampos from AS Monaco, sorry. And he's been solid for them without being amazing. He's a first-team player, and they would want in between 20 million and 27 million. I could sell Rooney and pick up this guy, and he could be there. But his finishing isn't amazing, but still only 20. Really, really young, can work on that. These attributes are really insane. He's fast. He's really strong. It looks fantastic to me. Last year, FM13, he was really good as well. But also, a guy who's already in the Premier League, finding his feet, could also be a good signing. Eric Lamela, he'll be good down the right side. He's had a solid season for them, but might want to move into a Champions League team. You see Tottenham, he might play Champions League for them, actually, depending on the rest of their season. But he could be a signing 23. And he can still improve significantly in the future, which is dangerous. And again, same price for him. his weakest aspect of the game is teamwork and work rate. It can be worked on, but yeah, he's probably the next. It's probably Lamela or Campos, unless another guy comes to mind. Look, Robben. He's having injury. He could be like a Puyol similar signing. If you see, he actually would be interested in coming into the team. And Bayern Munich, what do we have him regarded? Still a first team player, but not a key player. So keep that on my tabs. Could pick up Robben for like a one season wonder, like Puyol was, and it could be more than one season. Still only 31. And he just recently turned 31. So 31, you can still play at a decent level. So it remains to be seen who I do sign, or I might sell other players, forcing to, like, last year I didn't intend. Yeah, I might be forced to sell players. I didn't intend to sell Van Persie or Raphael. It's just one of those things that happen, and it was really for the better. If you've seen what I showed about Raphael last time, him not playing well and Peruzzi is playing great. Sometimes those things work in your favor when you don't intend to actually do them. I intend to have Raphael for his whole career, to be honest, but it did not work out that way. So that is enough for now. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you want to see some more. Just drop in the comments and drop in the likes, and I'll see you guys next time.